Add and subtract mixed numbers. So when doing math with mixed numbers, it's easiest to convert the mixed number to a fraction. And then after it's been solved, we're going to go ahead and convert it back as into a mixed number. So example 1, a business contracted with a pest control company to spray for insects and spiders around the building. For the building and its perimeter, the spray company used 2 3/4 gallons to spray the building and 4 1/5 to spray the perimeter of the building. How many total gallons were used? So we're going to go ahead and go 2 3/4 plus 4 1/5. So let's go ahead and convert both to an improper fraction. So what do we do first? We go ahead and multiply 2 times 4, well that's 8. Then we go ahead and add 3 to it. We go plus 3. So that would become 11. So we put 11 then, right? This is 11. And then 11 over 4 as our, improper fraction. This is just to have a barrier. Now we have 4 1/5. Well, 4 times 5, that's 20. And then we go ahead and add 1. So what does that become? That becomes, 21. So we have 21 over 5. So we have 11 fourths plus 21 over 5. Now we just need to go ahead and get the same denominator on both sides. We're going to go ahead and just multiply the first number by 5 over 5, and then the second number by 4 over 4, right? Because that would be our least common denominator between the 4 and the 5. So now let's go ahead and then just, we multiply what's on the top, and then you multiply what's on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 5 times 11, well that's 55, that's over 20. Now we have 21 times 4, so 21 times 4, 1 times 4 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So we have 84 over 20. And then we go ahead and add. So we would go ahead and add 84 and 55 together. 4 plus 5, 9, 8 plus 5, 13. So what does that equal? We have 139 over 20. And then we need to go ahead and just convert it back to a mixed number. So we have 139 divided by 20. Well, 20 can't go into 13, but it can go into 139 6 times, because this is really close to 140, which would be 7 times. So it's 6 times. 20 times 6 is 120. We go ahead and subtract. We get 9 and 1. So we're left with 19. And that would, this remainder is the 19, which just becomes the new numerator. We have the 6 as our whole number, and then our denominator, which would be 20. So that would be our solution. Now let's go ahead and look at the next example. Example 2. A farmer has 5 1/4 acres dedicated to almonds and 3 2/3 acres dedicated to avocados. So how many total acres are dedicated to almonds and avocados? So let's go ahead and just convert these to improper fractions first. So we have 5 1/4, so 5 times 4, that's 20. Then we add the 1, so that's 21. So we get 21 over 4. Then we have 3 2/3. Well, 3 times 3, that's 9. Plus 2, so that's 11. So what do we get? Well, we get 11 over 3. So we're going to go ahead and add these two together. So we have 21 over 4 plus 11 over 3. So what we need to do is, get to a common denominator. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply each one by its the other denominator. So 3 over 3 and 4 over 4. Well, 3 times 21 would be equal to 63 over 12. 11 times 4 is 44 over 12. And then we're going to go ahead and add these two together. So let's just go ahead and add them up here. 3 plus 4 is 7. 6 plus 4 is 10. So we get 107 over 12. And we're going to have to go ahead and just use a little bit more space. So now we're done by adding, but we need to go ahead and divide. So 12 can't go into, 10, but it can go into 108 times. So 12 can go into 107 8 times. We put it over the 7, and then 12 times 8 is 96. So we go ahead and subtract 7 minus 6 is 1. 10 minus 9 is 1, Because we could have just borrowed, but we could just go 10 minus 9. So that's 11. So what do we get? We get 8 and 11 over 12 as the total acres. So how many more acres of almonds are there than avocados? So now we're looking at, almonds, are 5 and 1/4. So the 21 over 4. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract this 11 over 3. Well, it's going to be the same thing, We're just going to go ahead and multiply each one to get a common denominator. So that just becomes 63 over 12. Now minus 44 over 12. So what's 63 minus 44? Well, we need to borrow 13. We get 9. 5 minus 4 is 1. So we get 19. So what does that become? Well, it becomes 19 over 12. And then the next step would be to make it into a mixed number, So 12 can go into 19 one time. We subtract. We get 7. So what does that become? Well, it becomes 1 and 7 12. So there is 1 and 7 12 more acres of almonds than avocados. And then combined, this is our first answer. This is our second answer. And that would be our solution.